Okay, hey guys, we are recording, so welcome. This is our weekly Zoom get together with our Diamonds in the Rough training group. And just a reminder that I'm going to record it kind of how we look right now, which is you can decide if you're on your phone or if you're in front of a computer, but some people have the speaker that's talking up, and some people like to see everyone's faces, so you can kind of control that in the view. You can also mute yourself. We can mute you, and we can also unmute you too. But we are recording right now, and I wanted to start today's call off with a quote, and this is a Zig Ziglar quote, and this is something that I found the other day, because so many times I know a lot of us can feel like, well, if I get all the puzzle pieces together, then I can start working and I can start moving towards things. And sometimes you don't have all the puzzle pieces right away. You just got to start building the edges, or start with a little section of the puzzle, and it starts to grow. And as it grows, you can put all the pieces together. I don't know if that relates to you, but that's kind of how it just kind of made sense to me. So this is a Zig Ziglar quote: "Do it, then you will feel motivated to do it." So sometimes we just have to jump off the cliff and go for it. So anywho, I want to congratulate you all for posting, and for those of you that are watching these recorded, or if you are getting on live, we know your time is valuable, so we want to make sure that we're answering questions and going over anything important to do. And a lot of what we're doing right now, building our teams to diamond and having you act like a diamond coach before you're actually a diamond coach, it can be a scary thing. And it's totally fine to feel like, I'm not sure, am I doing this right? And that's the thing. It's almost like the same thing goes back to that quote: do it, and then you'll feel motivated to do it. So just by doing things, you'll learn how to create more action in your business, more action in your life, just like with your workouts. If we just could work out, then sometimes we feel so good inside. I don't know about you, but I always feel better after a workout, even if it's 20 minutes or 10 minutes or 3 hours. I just feel better. I feel more energy and just all over in general a lot better. So yeah, we want to congratulate you, go over any questions that we have, and then kind of talk about what we're doing moving forward. So Bianca, do you want to jump in? You look so gorgeous and showery.
Well, thank you. No, I just put a little bit of face on. I think, yeah, you're so right with that. It's all about mindset, guys. I know we talk about this a lot, but it really is whether you decide to do it or you decide to give up, it really just starts with your decision. Where are you going to go? I actually just talked to a mom today, somebody that works 2 jobs, has 4 kids, and gets up at 4:30 in the morning every day to work out, just because this is what, helps her get through her day. And she's not a coach. She's signing up to be a coach, but she's doing all these things. She doesn't even know Beachbody exists. This is just going to be a plug-in for her, but all these things she's doing on her own. How amazing is it that the things that we're teaching here, this girl already does on the outside, So there's a reason and a purpose for the things that we say, like the vital behaviors, the mindset, the PD. These are all the things that she's doing. She had no idea that there was a process and a system, but here we are doing it. We get it handed to us with a checklist saying, do this every day. This girl figured it out on her own, and she's just so happy that, this exists. So you guys take advantage of that. It's not oh yeah, well, we decided that these are the things we're going to do just because, they sound fun. No, there's a whole reasoning behind it. It's a system. We don't even understand. It comes to us, for me at least, it was the first I ever heard of it. Yeah, I've read some stuff by Tony Robbins. I always kind of liked them, but I didn't realize that should be a routine, something you did every day, So these things that drew you in, maybe you came in for the workouts, maybe you came in for the personal development, maybe you came in for the community aspect of it. I don't know what drew you into Beachbody, but there's a reason, for the other things that weren't a part of your life to be introduced to you now. You won't find a successful coach that doesn't do the vital behaviors. You just won't find. You can go all the way up to the ladder, up to the top coach. You're not going to find. You can still go through like Lindsay's and Melanie's and everybody's timeline, and you see that they're doing their PD, they're doing their workouts, they're being a product of the product. It just doesn't exist. I actually had a coach ask me there. She was like, "Well, I follow Alyssa Showmaker, and I never see her drink Shakeology." I'm like, "Really? Well, that's weird." So I go back and I look through her Instagram, and sure enough, there's like a bunch of Shakeology posts that she made. So I'm like, it just doesn't add up. Like, you can't be successful if you're not doing something. If you're not, if you're not being a product of the product. So starts with you. Obviously, your mindset. Know where you're going. Commit to it. And then just follow the simple steps that you get every day. It is that simple. It sounds like, oh, okay, well, if I only do that, I'm not going to get anywhere. No, if you only do that, you're taking the right steps. That's all you really need to do. Just be consistent.
Awesome. No, and I totally agree with that. And one of the things that, I think sometimes, like, if we're inviting and we're always, and she said it on the National Wake Up Call yesterday, and please forgive me, what was her name?
Tara? Was it Tara?
Yeah. Okay, so she said on the National Wake Up Call, and even Nicole talked about it yesterday, like, she always starts her day filling her cup and fueling herself, because, that is the most important thing, I think, to continue on and to be able to grow from that. So I know Nicole's on with her babies.
Sorry, I had a potential that I've been trying to nail down for like 3 months finally call me, and I was like, okay, but it's 11:30 and I gotta go. So yeah, to add on to that too, if you're looking through, it really is that simple. But if you're looking through and you're starting to do stuff and you start seeing yourself push it to the back burner, ask yourself why, because I realized some of the things I was pushing to the back burner were the things that made me uncomfortable. And by stepping out of your comfort zone and really being okay with crafting your story and not being surfacey about things and digging into that, it may be uncomfortable, but that's gonna be what makes you grow as an all-around person and like become a better mom or a better wife or a better friend or better coach, and really develop in that way too. So like some of the conversations and some of the things and crafting posts and stuff like that, get in and get a little bit deeper, and that's where you're going to become more effective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think the posting and social media, like we talked a lot about that last week, and through this, like, it's so important to have, the things that you're talking about, and not to throw up all over, like, and there's a sale today, and there's this, not those types of posts, like the posts that you're learning from a lot of these coaches, like more stuff in your life and what it's about. But if you're always constantly putting stuff out and not getting things back in, there's something that is not happening. And I remember this a long time ago. We used to invite people to be coaches to a webinar, to a business opportunity webinar. We had it, the whole team had it every night on Tuesday. And I remember my coach asking me, she's like, well, did you invite to the webinar, on our accountability call, just like this? And I, was like, of course I did. Well, who did you invite? And I was like, well, I posted on social media, and then, I sent it to an email list. And she was like, yeah, but who did it like personally go to? And it just like, wow, like still to this day, I'm personally inviting people, and there's cold invites, we talk about that, but also if you have a beautiful social media page, but you're not getting success club points, there's a reason for that, and it's a lot of that is because of, I think the inviting and doing the vital behaviors, which it all goes back to. So do we want to open it up for questions, comments, concerns?
What are some objections you guys have been hearing when you're talking to people?
So the main one that I get with coaching is that they're like, well, I'd love to do what you do, but I don't have the time, which like cracks me up, because it's like, I have the time, right? I have all the time in the world. No, but if you guys could see, like, I've been doing a lot of inviting for coaching. I'm just trying to find new people. And I hear that one all the time. So you notice, if you follow me on my timeline, like this morning, for example, I made a post about it. Like, I don't argue with people ever on a message. If they tell me they don't have the time, I just acknowledge it and I say, you know what? I completely understand that. Before I became a coach, that was my biggest fear. I was doing so much, I didn't know how I would ever find the time to do this. And I said, I just started by doing a little bit at a time, and it just compounded and until I could actually get to a point where I can do this full time. So I totally understand where you're coming from. And then I'll leave it at that. Don't argue. I just share my point of view, and then I'll go to my timeline and I'll make a post about it. So I'm not just overcoming that objection to that person. I'm talking to my 2,500 friends on Facebook. Now, if somebody else has that objection and they're thinking it, they're going to get that objection. Like, when I finally do invite them for coaching, they're already that objection. They already know not to give me that excuse because I've already addressed it. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you guys saw it, but I made a post today about that. Like, the girl that I just mentioned earlier, mom of 4, 2 jobs. How the heck does she think that she's going to find the time? And when I asked her, I was like, well, I was taken aback because when she messaged me, I was like, okay, you have all this on your plate and you want to do this. Why? I have to ask you. And she's like, well, I follow you, and I thought to myself, she's like, I saw you do it, so I thought to myself, if she can do it, so can I. Right? So I went back and I made a post about it because I thought that was super cool, the way she said it. So I made a post about that. And I, left that up on my, so somebody else is watching and they're thinking the same thing that, they already have that objection overcome. And I do that with not just coaching, I do that with everything. With every single objection. If somebody gives me an objection, you can rest assured the next day there'll be a post about it. That's just how I do it. That's how I share you should make I got this from Bonnie Engel, where I posted this call for you guys. She runs her sneak peek through her page. If you watch her, this is exactly what she does. Every single day, she shares something about the opportunity. There's a reason why this girl is top 2 coach right now in the organization. So, I don't know if you guys follow the leaders, but I follow the leaders. Anybody, I get that little top 10 report that they print out, and I go follow, and I follow them all. What are they doing? Because they're doing something right.
So maybe the takeaway would be, let's start a thread underneath the pinned post today. Write in, because not everybody from what they've posted is not at Success Club. So that means if you're doing the vital behaviors, you're talking to people, and something's not happening to turn into sales or Success Club points or packages, however you want to call it. So let's post underneath the pinned post what things that you've heard back. Copy and paste some of the parts of the conversation, or give us a scenario, and then we can all together help give you ideas on posts to come up with to overcome those objections. Not things to even just say back to them, but we can be like, oh, why don't you do this for a post then? And we can all come up with ideas.
Nicole. That's an awesome idea.
So we're gonna see.
What if they don't object though? Like, what if they just disappear? Like, I had that one girl that asked me for the link. I sent it to her, but I'll message her. She reads it, but she just doesn't say anything.
That's an objection. No comment is no comment. So
I made a post for that was fantastic. I got so many likes on it.
Mm-hmm.
I addressed everybody that ignores me. I went and I said, if you're a coach and you signed up, and for some reason something came up and you fell off, just know I don't blame you. I know life happens. You can come back to it when you're ready. And then I say, and if I invited you to a challenge group and it wasn't the right time for you, just know I understand. It wasn't the right time when I first was invited either. It took me 3 months to finally do. I actually went through every single person that ignores me, and I made a post and I put it.
Well, and
awesome.
to be post that in there. I talked to this person. We were at this point in the conversation, whether you were just invited them a cold invite and they read it, or whether or not you actually talked to them about challenge pack stuff, and that they dropped off. Tell us at what point you dropped off, and that they ignored you, and we'll brainstorm some ideas on there too. Because that happens in whether it was a coach or whether it was a challenger that you were going to talk to about it.
Yeah. I addressed that challenger too. I was like, if you're a challenger, you signed up and you never opened your package and, never finished the challenge group, just know, it's like, I've been there too. I've started and not, finished. And I addressed every single one. I think I opened it with something about, I'm like a waitress in a coffee shop. I come by with coffee. If you want some coffee, I'll be happy to give you some. If you don't, I won't take it personal. And then I'll just flat.
I have one image that I did, and it was like a toe in the water. And I was like, one toe in, you know, been thinking about jumping in. Do you realize that summer is only so many days away, or, you know, and counting it down for them and showing them like that how quickly the time's going to pass, and that your toe's been in the water, you've been thinking about it, or like there was a fence, like time to jump off the fence or something like that, you know, like, so stuff like that will help you craft some stuff.
Yeah. Bruna, you can always go back to and say something like, I see that, you know, maybe this wasn't the right time for you or something like that. And you can say, you know, just so you know, I'd love to help you either way. Maybe, you know, I just hope I didn't say something to offend you. I always go back like that. Like, I wish I had an example and I could read it to you, but I'll say something like, you know, I understand if it's not the right time. I just want you to know that I'm here, whether you're ready to commit or not. I'd love to help you. You know, I just hope that I didn't say something wrong or something to offend you. I'll leave it at that. They always respond to that.
Yeah, so I saw something, and I started implementing this too, because, you know, you send out invites, you get the conversation going, you're building the relationship, and now all of a sudden there's no response, maybe for no reason or maybe for whatever. And so that's where, and what was happening to me was I was losing messages in Facebook, and I was here and I was there. And so I just felt very scattered. So I started using Streak. Now Streak is, you know, we've talked about that. You know, that's one system, but the people that are not responding to my emails in like 3 or 4 days, I can go back like, hey, just wanted to make sure you got this, you know, you know, because in Streak, you can see if they've read it or not. And so I'm not going to tell them like, hey, I saw that you read my message. I'm just going to say something along the lines of what, you know, Bianca and Nicole just said. If, you know, if they, I totally understand, like, if you're not ready for this, or, you know, if there's something that I can do better. Like I last month, I needed 5 more Success Club points in the middle of the month. And, you know, I was running a group and I needed my people to sign up, and I sent this message. She had read it. I had sent a follow-up. She had read that. Then my second follow-up, and then I put them into a folder for next month to follow up with them. So what I did was I followed up with her and I said, hey, you know, if there's anything that I said in my last email that was icky or, you know, made you turn off from, you know, wanting to do this, no worries, please let me know. Like, I take pride in my challenge groups and providing the best opportunity that I can for others to feel motivated and love themselves, and just kind of like what I stand for. And she wrote back, I'm not even joking, like 10 minutes, girl, I've been meaning to respond. I'm so sorry. Like, no, you're not. Like, I want to do this. And so it was like, whoa, okay. So that was an example of.
You gotta think too, sometimes people are just busy, like they really are.
Think about how many times I'm in the middle of like typing a text to somebody, and then like, oh my God, earlier I was on the phone getting ready to do something. My son got a stool, climbed up, and almost had his hand in the toaster. So my phone's thrown this way, and I'm moved on. If I didn't go back to what I was doing, then you think about it, you saw it, and it may be forever. And then you go back and look at it 2 weeks later, and you're like, oh, I started typing this and I never finished. So, I mean, there's so many instances in different ways. Like, never worry about following up too much.
Yeah.
People are busy.
Fortune is in the follow-up.
Alone.
Melissa McAllister, who is a top 10 elite coach numerous times, multi-millionaire, whatever, big, huge person in the industry. I'm friends with her. And years ago, I asked her, I was like, Melissa, like, what is it? Like, she had just hit 15-star. And I remember we were doing a video together because they did all the fitness videos back then. And I was like, so what is it? Like, what am I missing? And she's like, Meredith, fortune is in the follow-up. And I thought about that, and I'm like, yeah, like, think about this. Like, if you go to buy a car, like, you're going to buy a car most likely because you need one. And you don't just, some people are, but I am not a car person. And so, like, I have to, like, buy something that I need, that's practical, that's going to fit my lifestyle, that I'm also going to enjoy driving, but something that I kind of want at the same time. I've only purchased 2 cars in my life. And my husband has done everything else. So I bought a car from, and this one guy like kept following up with me, but he was very like icky and salesy. Like, I don't want to buy a car from him, versus I knew another car that I wanted to buy. And we went to the dealership and we talked to people. They never followed up with us. And so when we saw it at another location for probably the same price, I went there because this person knew that I wanted to buy this car in the next couple months, and they didn't follow up with me. And that's just how it happened, you know? So think about who you want to be, and who people want to sign up with, people that they know, they like, and they trust. So you're putting that information out there that they know and they like and they trust you. But also when you follow up with like sincere, meaningful follow-ups, then it's like, you know, not just the, hey, did you get my message?
For sure. Like knowing what they want to, and knowing their like main concerns before you even get to the point of not following up. So if it's somebody who's mentioned price to you a couple of times, then invite them to your next free group, and before you even follow up with them about their stuff. If you know that you talked about the 21-day fix and it was what they wanted, then when it's on sale, then you have them on a list and you can invite them to it. If when your conversation you talked about their cravings and they love chocolate, then once a month or so, send them like an awesome clean eating chocolate recipe. Just to stay in their face in a non-salesy, icky way.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's a really good. And always offer them something. Like when I go back to the follow-up to somebody that doesn't, you know, that saw my message and ignored me, usually I'll do this after the group has started. I'll go back and I'll be like, well, listen, the group started. I realized that you perhaps weren't ready, but I wanted you to know that, you know, I'm still committed to helping you. So here is a free meal plan that you can use until you're ready. Like I always do that. And I have like a sample meal plan that I send that has a grocery list, whatever. You have no idea how many people message me like 3 months later and said, I've been following that same meal plan for like 3 months. I don't know how they do it, but I lost like 20 pounds. Now I'm ready to commit. Like you don't even know like how many times that's happened to me. And that's just something stupid that I take from Google Docs. Takes me 2 seconds. They feel so good because you took the time to help them out.
Yeah. And some people just aren't ready, and you don't want them on your team until they are ready. How long do you hear some people say like, oh, I followed this person for a year, and maybe they don't want to disclose to you exactly why they're not ready. But if you do those little things and let them know that you're there for them, then there's a million Beachbody coaches out there. They're going to want you when they are ready.
You guys have any other questions?
I'm a little confused when you guys say like about posting about Shakeology, because like I remember like on the do's and don'ts, you guys say don't post like a picture with the product, don't post, you know what I mean? Like just selfie drinking the Shakeology and things like that. And but then you guys say we do have to post it, so I'm not.
Yeah, I know. I get it. So I totally understand that. And you guys can jump in a second. But so here's Chalene Johnson trained a lot of us and a lot of my group in social media long before she was putting all this stuff out. And she was just like, just look at the way that you're posting things. Like if you're like, love my Shakeology, and that's all of Shakeology posts, like that's just like, ew, that's like so salesy and yicky and yucky. But if you're like, okay, so, you know, and you kind of have the shake, like if you notice, Chalene sells, she's not a coach, FYI, but she sells Shakeology in her things. Like she'll be doing a video and she's like, doing it. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, it's Shakeology. You know, like doing a video, like a live broadcast video. And other ways that that top coaches sell things is talking about the way it makes them feel and the way it does this. And, you know, so you don't want your whole feed to be like selfie of Shakeology and kissing your product and your program. Yeah.
That's it. See what I got this time? No, like crafty. So like holding up the Twix bar and having your Shakeology with the Twix recipe of what you use. One of the ones I got a lot of buzz on was like hangry at the grocery store. I was like hangry and I was mad and I had like my empty cup because I forgot the packet. And I was like, see, and I went to the grocery store and I didn't have my hangry cure and I bought the entire store. You know, just like little ways that you can craft it in different ways other than the sit and smile.
Erna, I say go and do the Shakeology training that Shay Sanford has out. She has like a 40-minute like Shakeology trainer video that you can watch. Take notes on that. I did this when I was a new coach. Take notes on it, and then every once in a while, like maybe once a week, get your shake, make a post about it with different angles. Like always put your face in it, you know, and then have your shake. And you can say something like, I was just thinking about posting this the other day because all my kids got sick and I didn't get sick. I got sick, but not as sick as they did. And so I was thinking about it, you know, and then I would like look at the ingredient, you know, that helps the immune system. And I would post it. I was like, well, guess what? Everybody around me is sick, but I'm not because I drink my shake every day and it has blah, blah, blah in it and it helps to keep me healthy. So I always like, you can post the Shakeology selfie, but you need to add value. Like, okay, why do you love it so much? Why would somebody else love it? You know, like what's the value in it? Like, why would you want to tell people to drink it? One that I always, I post, I always put like a disclaimer, like on top, I'll say, don't worry, I'm not trying to sell you the shake. I just want to tell you that I'm so excited because I added coconut milk to it. It tastes like, you know, an Almond Joy or something like that. Like put a little disclaimer so people don't automatically see the post and then scroll through it, you know? Scroll past it.
Getting super heavy and he never falls asleep on me, so I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna go look him down.
Oh, I hope he's not sick.
I hope so too. Thing is, we had some friends over last night. They stayed late, and then it was like still getting back into school. So I think I'm hoping he's just tired, but
Yeah.
really heavy.
Well, we have to get off anyways because it's noon. Does anybody have any other questions before we get off? Okay, question. Do you know when the next coach sneak peek is? Look at Bruna's face. What? All right, guys, you're pushing for diamond, so you need to be breadcrumbing coaching all the time, every day. This is your push. It's not like your regular month where you're going to start posting about the coach sneak peek like a week before it's there. No, you're going to be breadcrumbing it like just like I did today, and I made that post, that objection post about coaching. You have to talk about it all the time, but you have to, it's going to feel like you're talking about it all the time, but trust me, different people are seeing different things. So make a morning post, make an evening post, make an afternoon post, like not always the same thing, but make different things. You know, what about coaching? Maybe it's holding you accountable. Maybe you're really happy that you're helping people. Maybe, you know, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. You figure out what it is for you. Make a list of 10 things that you love about coaching and then just spread from those until you're invited for your sneak peek. Because remember, your posts are going to back up your invites. So you're going to, you know, 2 weeks before the coach sneak peek, which is, by the way, I think April 25th, I think. Before that, 2 weeks before that, that's when you're gonna make your first coaching invite on your page, and not just post and then like Meredith said, you know, I invited. No, you're going to make a list and you're gonna invite 2 to 3 people every single day for coaching. Your goal is to have 20 people on that sneak peek, at least 20 people need to be there, and you need to personally invite. I'm talking and I'm muting myself. So you need to personally invite these people and follow up with them and make sure they're in the group. Like, this is how you're going to get your coaches. Trust me, finding coaches, working coaches, is not as easy as it is to find challengers. Everybody's willing to lose some weight. Not a whole lot of people are going to be willing to work this business. So you actually have to dig and mine to find your diamonds, to find your gems. You need to do it. There's no other way around it. It's not as easy, but it's definitely worth it because these are people that you're going to be working with directly. This is your team. So you have to actually put an extra effort into finding these people. Sorry.
All right, so we'll close it up now, but I'll post this recording. Thank you all for jumping on and for all of your time and energy. You guys are doing so good. Keep the ball rolling, and go ahead, Nicole.
Make sure you post below the pin post some objections so that we can make posts out of those. That's your takeaway. Bye.
Perfect. All right, guys, have an awesome day. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.